Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Saturday edition of Paranormal Weekend Morning Brew Show. Well, that's a mouthful. I got to shorten that. It is the 13th of January, 2024. Okay, let's hope this year brings us a lot of good things and none of the Biden things. I mean, bad things. Um, Anyways, I'm going to go through the disclaimer and we're going to get started into it. Okay, we're going to talk about all kinds of weird stuff today and why it's happening around us and why it's being seen by everybody and their uncle now. Okay. So, copyright disclaimer is this channel may use some copyrighted material without specific authorization of the owner, but contents that falls under the Fair Use Act. And the Fair Use Act is the Copyright Act of 1976. Nighthawk High Strange is podcast channel, and all the podcasts on the channel declare fair use of any and all content. That's any and all content to be used for the sole purpose of informing you, the viewing family, of information for criticism, commentary, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, research, parody, general knowledge, and entertainment only per Title 17 USC subsection 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, otherwise known as the Fair Use Act. All righty, and that includes the music. And by the way, all of our little videos that I make and stuff and put out are done with what they call the Splice app. That's SPLICE app. Okay, so and it's free too. All you got to do is watch a commercial, I guess, every now and then, and that's it. But it's free, and I'll tell you what, they got a lot of music to choose from, and you use your own photographs and stuff. So it's pretty cool. It's a good app, I think. Anything's good that's free. Alrighty, let's get that off of there. Let's see, what do I want to put up there? We are going to get into the weird. Let me you there, Eric?
Yeah, I'm here, bud. Brother, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. Doing all right. Had a rough night, but that's to be expected. Anyways, there's no specific topic today. I want to let everybody know that what I want to do is we got a lot of weird stuff happening around everybody all the time. And it's finally it's coming to the tip of the pyramid as far as I'm concerned, the tipping point of throwing supernatural in with paranormal and every other aspect that we can think of in today's society, if you can call it what today is a society, um, with all the wars going on and rumors of wars, which is in the Bible. Um, you know, you almost have to figure. I've been trying to connect the dots to everything to make everything connect, and we're getting pretty close on a lot of the subjects here, with the reptilians and the demons and all that, and taking over and being the secret cabal, that's actually in charge. We're connecting all the dots, but why hasn't anybody discussed why these things are occurring? Why people are seeing ghosts more often and having paranormal experiences, why people are seeing cryptid creatures more often and having these cryptid creature encounters, why people are seeing UFOs and lights in the sky more often than they used to. Um, or is it just the fact that everybody's reporting them nowadays instead of hiding them and being, for fear of being ridiculed? Um, it goes on and on and on. And, everybody says, oh, the veil is thin. The veil is really, really thin. Well, yeah, the veil's always been really, really thin. That's why they call it a veil. Okay.
Yep.
But do we really, really, really have a say so in what happens in our lives, in the way things are done. Do we have the capability of doing that or controlling our lives? Um, to a point, I think we do. But when you're talking about all the different aspects of paranormal and supernatural encounters, I think it does better to look way outside the box than just your normal, because we're not dealing with just normal cryptid creatures out there. It's like I've said from day one, when you see a cryptid creature with the red glowing eyes, it's time to leave, okay? Because that's not what it's appearing to you as, okay? That is a demon or a demonic cryptid in nature, okay? And what I mean by putting it in the realm of demons is that it's pure evil, okay? There's no other word for it but demon, okay? So when you're dealing with red-eyed cryptid creatures, go the other way, okay? Plain and simple. Most of our normal cryptid creatures are going to have the normal eye shine, which is what deer have and whatnot. But it's just it's a little bit strange to me how somebody exact same thing occurring as somebody on the west coast of this country is having happen to them at the same exact time, and that has been reported. Now, is it because CERN has screwed everything up, and back in 2012 we actually did have our world end and they just basically switched worlds with us? They put us in a parallel universe per se, to where things are a little bit off. And you've got to admit, everybody out there has got to admit that with today's things going on, the world is off. Okay, it's not the same as it used to be. It doesn't even feel the same. Those that have that psychic connection to everything, or the mysticism, you know that you can feel that the world is off. Okay, something is going to happen that is going to blow the minds of everybody listening to this podcast, or now or later. They're going to have their minds blown, because it's like something is feeding off of us as humans, and things are being tweaked for us to see them more often. And I don't know, Eric, do you have a theory on that?
Well, this is something I've thought about for a long time because, I mean, you're correct on several aspects. Everything the paranormal, cryptid, and I'm sorry, I'm trying to fix my camera while I talk, so a cat has played with it, has ramped up. Now, part of that, there's a funny saying that me and a brother of mine always tell each other: nature's out of balance. And we got that from the Lone Ranger movie, obviously. But I mean, it actually fits true to what's going on. Now, as far as this more reports go, I think it's more of people are feeling more accepting with telling their story, not being ridiculed as ridiculed as much, or and plus technology. I mean, look what I mean. This little thing here, a lot of, can now do a lot of stuff that it wouldn't be able to do before. So there's a lot of stuff out there that people can capture this stuff on. I was just watching some videos, man, of this one house that's haunted. They call it a haunting. Man, I'm looking at it going, that's straight poltergeist. Morning, Tracy. Straight poltergeist activity with everything that was happening to that poor family, man. It was just, it was unreal. But we got these technologies because now we got these security cameras that can go straight to your cell phone. You ain't got to worry about plugging it in a computer and losing your evidence. I mean, you got so much stuff. I mean, I had a deal last night, that when I came home, I ended up having to work last night. And my daughter came home shortly after I did. And this is found right behind my house. and my Black American flag got tore up. I mean, that's literally right outside my back window.
Oh yeah.
I mean, more and more stuff
Well,
is
they've been
coming
known
open.
to peep in
Part of
windows.
that, huh?
I said they've been known to peep in windows.
Oh yeah, I've had that here. I've had that down in my other place. I've had that on a lot, all over out here. But it's just it. I think we're getting part of it. Maybe more and more of us are getting more in tune with nature than what we used to be. I mean, we are shepherds of nature. We
Uh-oh.
are there to supposed to help and assist nature and be one with nature. Do we rely on nature for food and clothing and shelter? Yes, but we're also supposed to be caretakers of nature. That's our purpose on life, is to be one with Mother Earth. So I think more and more people are finally getting attuned to it. Could it be weeds? Could it be, what is that, Genosqua, whatever? Not Genosqua, what is that dang shroom stuff that everybody's getting on? Could that be a part of it? I don't know. I just know more and more people. So you're going to start seeing more of this.
And it, but it's not just visually seeing things change in front of our eyes and seeing things that we would have never thought existed in front of our eyes. It's hearing it too, because you've got the sound of the old metal school desks that used to drag across the floor sound coming from the sky, the fingernails on the chalkboard sounds coming from the sky, and the trumpet sound coming from the sky. I mean, it's just you've got all kinds of weird stuff, and then you put the natural disasters on top of all that, and it makes for a heck of a battle to even survive on this planet, to tell you the truth. I mean,
and
you,
natural
you, you
disasters,
think about
you can go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. No, you go
natural
ahead.
disasters, you could chalk that up to military activity too, because we know dang well they've got that device that controls weather. It's been documented. I knew about it back when I was still active duty, that they can cause earthquakes, hurricanes, tornadoes, floods. I mean, fires, everything. So I mean, even your natural disasters can be set up to other things as well, which brings you kind of some current concern.
Yeah, Aussie Sue brought up that she definitely knows that there's been an increase in violent murders happening in Australia. That's the same all around, because you hear about violence all the time anymore. That seems to be the first and foremost thing that the regular news want to report, is the violence. Why do they want to just divulge the violence that's happening? Why don't they divulge some of the weirder stuff happening? Because if they would clarify it, and nobody trusts mainstream media anymore. I mean, I sure don't. So we have to find out ourselves. We have to literally search it out ourselves and find the answers. And a lot of times that's not easy to do. But I had my fair share of the weird stuff going on here. But yeah, it has amped up. You are right.
Yeah, it has.
You are
like
right.
for me, activity at my property. I live out in the middle of nowhere on 40 acres, and I love it that way. I can't stand cities. I can't stand towns. I don't like when a neighbor can smell what I had for dinner last night when I take my morning poo. I can't stand that life. That's not for me. I feel trapped in that kind of environment. It's just, I feel in peace and center here out in the woods. But I mean, even for me, after mom passed away, which sadly just today's 2-year anniversary of that, and then dad moving out's when my activity ramped up here. I mean, but I mean, I've always lived in peace with my guest here. That one night a couple of weeks ago was the first time I've actually feel out, or straight up, holy crap, something's hunting my ass, type deal. Other than that, I mean, and that could be the fact that dad wasn't peaceful with them, and I am, so that could That could chalk up to more people are coming in tuned with what's out there and waking up, that maybe that's why we're getting more of it, because you're getting more people taking notice of it, where before they're like, oh, that's just a conspiracy theory, blah blah blah. Now they're going, holy crap, that ain't, that could be a lot of it too. Parallel dimensions, I've heard that. Have I wondered that from time to time myself? Yeah, because like I said earlier, nature's out of balance. There's things going on that normally don't happen. Or I'm just waiting to see that horse on the roof. This is crap you don't see. So is it possible? Yeah, it's possible. Do I know for sure? No.
Yeah, true.
Get up and more evidence. So, hey, Joey.
This is true. This is true. We were talking last time. We were talking last time about the Miami Mall incident, and that and how I debunked it and everything, and now it seems like everybody and their uncle's on this thing about the Miami Mall, how portals opened up and da 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 da, and there was 10-foot tall, beings walking around. I don't doubt that. I mean, if you have the capability, and you have a psychic connection that's not just in our realm, but in all the realms, you would 10-foot tall beings walk us every minute of the day. It's just a different vibrational field that they're on than what we are on. Okay. And that's all it is. Okay. It's not the physical part of it, because the physical part of it is there. They are physically there. Okay. But, we just don't see them all the time because we're on a lower vibrational plane, or they're on a lower vibrational plane than what we are, So, I mean, that's the only way we can formulate that we can see them as sensitives. Okay. I see them all the time. I'm not just 10-foot tall creatures. I'm talking, I see, little people. Ask my wife, Tracy, how many times I've asked her, did you see that little person just now? Or I just saw another little person, or I'll see the wisp that I call, which is like a person's spirit, going by with a little tail, I just, I see all these things, and I don't think anything of them because I see them so much. It doesn't really faze me. But for the person that see them all the time, that is experiencing these kind of things happening right now in their lives, that's got to be a pretty frightening thing to experience for the first time. So that's why I wanted to do a show about this very thing, because there's a lot of people out there that some are reporting them more than others, but there's a lot of people out there that are still holding it back from reporting it because they don't want to be laughed at, that they don't want to be ridiculed, So, I mean, if I could give one piece of advice to the person that's listening to this or seeing this for the first time and has had that paranormal experience or that supernatural experience, whether it's a UFO, you've seen an alien, you've seen a cryptid creature, a ghost, a elemental, a little person, pugwudgie, anything. Hell, we got people seeing dragons and stuff too nowadays. I mean, it's amazing. But whatever you've seen, it's okay. I mean, you're not crazy. Okay. You're not crazy, because other people are seeing these same exact things around the world. Okay. It's just, and here we go, the old cliche, the veil is so thin. Okay. Yeah, the veil has always been thin, but right now the veil is torn. Okay. It's torn completely. And we can thank CERN for that. You can't put one over and over again without interference. It's like when you turn the radio dial, people are experiencing right now. That's what people are experiencing. They're experiencing that static from that dial not being dialed in all the way. Okay. And a lot of times it's dialed into the demonic realm. And a lot of times it's dialed into the heavenly realms. It just depends on where that dial's positioned at in this veil. That's the only way I can actually explain it to where it almost makes sense. But there's probably better people out there that can explain it better than I can. But it's literally that. Okay. And then you couple on top of that what our own governments are doing to us and our own corporations that we buy from are doing to us. And here's a perfect example of it right here. Lying to us. They lie to us all the time. Okay. Let's face it, they do. Okay.
Yeah.
Chemtrails. Now,
so all that's toxic to you.
This is true. Yeah. This is something that we're going to be going over next week on the podcast, which is trails, that I think needs to be gone over. The amount of chemicals that they are putting in these chemtrails that's dropping to the ground. Some of it can cause people to hallucinate. Some of it can cause cancer. Some of it can instantaneously kill off the live fish and stuff in streams, and can give birth defects to wildlife, which is nasty. It shouldn't be done. Okay. The chemtrails should not be done that way. So we're going to be getting into that next week. But things like say when you're walking through somebody's yard or an abandoned lot or something, and you see something like this. Now, that is definitely strange. This was caught on cameras at a cemetery, and I can't even begin to tell you what that is other than a ghoul. That's about the only thing I could describe it as, is a ghoul. Unless
That's what
it's
I was thinking.
unless it's the Gene Simmons that, if he's passed already, that might be Gene Simmons. It's just missing the pointy tongue coming out the mouth. Just that would just, that would make your toes curl up and make you want to run. So we have that going on.
That face just doesn't match the body.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. They got giants being seen on mountains.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be becoming more and more common.
And then portals. Yeah, we've got portals all over the world that people are finding. I mean, they're finding these doorways everywhere. Sometimes they're a doorway, and sometimes they're round. Kind of like this thing behind me here. With the way it goes.
They're literally got evidence of actual true stargates that the government has found all over the world. How close the movie was to them is pretty cool, because they were pretty dang spot on how they work. Guys, go on. I can't do that right now. Go.
Now you look at that doorway there, and you figure what is the size of the thing that can walk through that doorway? It's got to be 30 feet tall. You find like this. I sent
Yeah.
you a picture of this.
Yeah.
You know,
That
you
is
find
cool.
things like this,
That is.
the stairs that who in the heck in their right mind would even consider walking on stairs like that? You know, I mean, that's just, to me, that's just incredible. That is literally
It's about
incredible.
about 5 people wide and 2 people tall. I mean, come on. I mean,
Yeah, if
they
that
ain't no
wasn't made
humans.
for us.
No.
Now, here's something we've got to consider too, everybody. When we're dealing with our society today, okay, our world, our niche in our universes, um, we're dealing with a lot of satanic stuff, okay, a lot of mockery of the Bible. Did you know that the Monster energy drinks, a demonic symbolism? It represents the triad, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Okay. It represents the 3 nails that were put in Jesus Christ's hands and feet on the cross. That's what that M is. That's 3 nails. Okay. If you look at it, it's actually 3 nails. It's not an M, it's 3 nails. These are things that are opening up. I believe these portals and stuff are making conducive to having portals from hell open up or portals from a dark dimension open up. Okay. It doesn't necessarily have all to hell for that matter. But yeah, this is around us every day. This is literally around us every day. Okay. And
In
there's
the
no
end
getting
times,
over it.
evil will be
Everywhere we go, we've run into it. You know, adrenochrome, you know, Google, Chrome. You know, I mean, this is not coincidence. Okay. Then we've got the mysteries of NASA and and space. And how could the 1978 planet Earth have the same cloud formations to a T as a 2017 Earth?
Yeah.
Unless that picture is fake. I mean, do they not understand that people actually do study these pictures? I mean, you can see that the clouds are exactly the same. So
They
NASA,
understand people do, but they don't care.
so NASA is lying to us. You know, they really are. So I don't, it's getting to the point where you don't know who to trust and who to just write off. You know, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. It really is. It
It is.
starts to get to
NASA.
the point where it's frustrating.
Go ahead. Sorry, man. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say it's starting to get to the point where it's just so frustrating that it's a given that this stuff is happening. You know, because of all the negativity and evil that we're putting out into the realm, into the universe. You know, that negativity and that evil is going to come back 10 times fold. You know.
Yep. When you dance for the devil, he comes by to dance back, and people have got to realize that you can't flirt with the dark side and not expect something dark to happen to you. What you want in return has a price.
Right.
You know, there's always a price you got to pay. You know, and like you said earlier on NASA knows that people like us are going to look into that, but they don't care. Because all they're going to do is label us as conspiracy theorists, even though the picture is there clear as day. We're conspiracy theorists, and not the whole mass of the people's going to jump on that bandwagon. But the thing is more and more people are jumping on that bandwagon nowadays.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. And I see everybody in the chat. I see everybody. Some new faces too, which is great. You're all weirdo warriors.
Yeah, I've been trying to keep up with the chat, but I keep getting lost in it from time to time. But no, I mean and this is what's great. I mean, everybody in this chat is either they see something, or B, if they're new, they're starting to see something, so they're kind of taking interest. And that's the thing we got to do. That's what this is for. This is what my podcast is for. Is we need to just try to get the information out there, let you all discern for yourselves, and get more people educated. Oh no, we lost William. We'll see if he comes back on. Well, I mean, there is a lot of strange stuff that goes on, and we just gotta keep it, keep that in mind. Well, he might be coming back. Hopefully, he is. I'm kind of curious about this, Juno. That's kind of interesting there, bub. Looks like he ain't getting back in yet. But I mean, this is the stuff that we got to look at. Yeah, I mean, right, Red. I mean, that's like what I was talking about earlier. I mean, we're the government's had knowledge of Stargates for a long time. The movie was way behind the times of that. That wasn't him. Sorry, I was wondering if that was him messaging me. So, I mean, sorry guys, I'm still dealing with that lung deal. Plus, I got called into work yesterday, so I'm kind of pootered out. But yeah, I mean, you got oh, there he is. All right. I was hoping you'd kick back up. Internet giving you a hard time, brother? Not hearing his mic yet. Okay, he's still having issues. Sorry, guys. William's having issues here, but we'll get it going. He'll get back up in here. It's always great having him in here with us. Oops, I lost your comment. Oh, give me a second, Ozzy, and I'll take a look at it, hon. I didn't want to interrupt the show real quick, but I'll take a quick look at that.
Am I?
Yeah, there you. Oh, you're a little robot-y, but you're back, brother.
Always happens. It's always happens when we get on the subject of it. This is something I've been used to for the longest time. It happened to me and Dennis a lot. So I would imagine that even though the some of the people changed in the podcast, it's still going to happen. The powers that be don't like me talking about it because I'm exposing what they're wanting to keep hidden from everybody, their hidden agenda. And just so you all know, it's going to get worse before it gets better. Okay. And I'm not saying that to scare anybody, but everybody's talking about Project Bluebeam and how it's going to be a fake alien invasion or going to fake Jesus, and all that. And, but when it comes down to it, this world that we live in is not the same world that we were born into. Okay. Something along the lines shifted our universe that we were born into a parallel universe. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's like when you take and you record so many things on, remember the VHS tapes? Yeah. When you record over and over and over again on the VHS tapes, you'd always get that other recording bleeding through a little bit. Okay. And that's what we have happening here. It's literally bleeding through.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and I could see that because, I mean, as far as climate goes, could that be another dimension that's folded in on top of ours? Yeah, possibly. But with all the chemtrails that's in the air, I'm leaning more towards that, because not only does that affect us, but that affects our it affects our ecosystem too. And from what I understand, that certain individuals are reversing that chemtrail acts, and it's kind of showing, because we're starting to get weather back that we used to get when we was younger. People are starting to live longer. People are actually getting cured from stuff. But I mean, all this crap they put up there not only affects us physically, but affects and mentally, but affects us on our ecosystem as well. Yes, I mean that is, yes, Ozzy. The fact that it had a hole on top, that is, yes. Yeah, yeah. It's and they talk about a hole over Antarctica. Now the hole is not the conventional hole that we think of. The hole is actually a dead zone. We're not allowed to fly under 8,000 feet. I think it is 8,000 or 80,000. I can't remember off the top of my head. But there's so much going on in them areas on the poles, in which the poles are shifted. The poles ain't even in the same place we knew when we was young. The Earth's axis is tilted an extra 2 or 3 degrees. I can't remember exactly. So what was our North Pole and South Pole is now shifted to another location. That is something that Mother Earth does all the time. Mother Earth is a living being. She doesn't sit still. She moves. We got to think about that. But yeah, the fact of that black hole, they want to talk about, what was it? Was the 80s or 90s? They were talking about the hole in the ozone. You got to stop using hairspray. I think it was probably late 80s, early 90s. I can't remember off the top of my head. That was a long time ago. This is all horse crap. It's all horse crap. I mean, humans imprint on our ozone and the toxicity in the air, besides what's being shot above us every day, is like 0.002%. Mother Earth changes all the time. Iraq used to be a luscious jungle, which is now a desert. Part of that is by invading forces putting salt on the ground. Yes. The other part is Mother Earth tilts, changes. I mean, even here in Missouri, we used to be known for our 4 seasons. We had spring, summer, fall, winter. Now we just got summer, kind of spring, kind of fall, and winter. That's about it. Well, in our winters here ain't nothing compared to what they used to be. It all changes. But in the other part of it is that crap they put in the air. So, I mean, we got to think about it. And as far as paranormal activity ramping up, man, I've dealt with paranormal activity my whole life. I mean, I've been physically messed with, as along with everything else dealing with paranormal. I've dealt with it. People are just finally waking up going, okay, this is real. When before it was like, oh, that was just a trick of the eye, because that's what they told you. So people are waking up, and it's nice to see everybody in this chat room here, coming to this, because you're woke people, or you're trying to wake up. And you want to make sense of what's happening. I mean, when you got an object that's sitting here, and you leave the room for a second, turn around, that object sitting here, they didn't teleport. Something moved it, and it obviously wasn't you. That stuff happens. Those videos I was watching earlier, wow, that I feel sorry for that family. That is straight up 100% poltergeist activity, which poltergeist is a German word for angry spirit, but it's the same activity that a jinn does. Yeah, if you actually look and study the jinn and the poltergeist, it's one of the same things. William, are you still here, bud? You look frozen. No, we lost William again. Daggone it. Let me get caught up on here on some of these because I'm trying not to miss everybody here. Hey, thank you, Spiritual, for coming in. We appreciate that. Sorry, William's having issues with his internet. Yeah, I mean, that's bad. That's bad, Ozzy. Oh, he looks like he's trying to come back in. So that's weird,
Well,
Ray.
I don't know. I don't know if we can continue this or not. Tell you the truth. I mean, it's getting bad.
Yeah, I stopped to check on you. I was like, wait, something's moved, or he ain't moved or said nothing. So I was like, I wonder. And then all of a sudden you were gone. So I was like, okay, yeah, if he's having issues again. See, in the state of Kentucky, it's going to be illegal to be homeless, but if that bill passes, it will be a misdemeanor crime first time, then a felony the second time around. Fines and jail time. I mean, I can see that's a double-edged sword on that, Ray. That really is a double-edged sword because some people are homeless by choice because they don't want to be a part of the system. Other people are homeless because they had no choice. Right. You know, there's good and bad on the homeless side of that. It's hard to say, bub. Yeah. Hey, thank you, Ray. It's awesome. And I'll be honest with you. Those who watch my YouTube channel Sunday night, I work road construction. So yesterday I was supposed to have a 4-day weekend yesterday. Yesterday, I'm normally off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday because I work 410s. I got called in yesterday. That's why I couldn't hop on. I messaged Tim shortly after I got home last night. I was like, look, dude, I'm dog tired. I've been up since 5 a.m. because I got called in. I may or may not be doing the show Sunday night. I don't know yet because the way it's looking, this is my only day off right now because if everything comes in that's supposed to come in, I'm going to be back to work tomorrow morning and Monday morning, which if I go to work Monday morning, being it's a holiday, it's double pay plus an extra $5 an hour. I'm not going to pass up on that kind of money.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't expect you to.
No, yesterday I made damn near $37 an hour. I wasn't going to pass up on that. I mean, yeah, it sucks being out in that weather for 12 plus hours a day, but I can use that money right now.
So, how many of you out there saw my he's an alien, they're an alien, they're not an alien little short video the other day?
I got to catch a few minutes of it.
Yeah, it was just a few minutes long, so you didn't miss anything. But I do that all the time. And I do that literally all the time. Every time my lovely wife Tracy goes into the grocery store and I sit out there by myself, I do that. I either do it, I don't do it all the time with the camera on, but anyways, I did that one time. And when I do it, I use my mind too when I say you're an alien. I'll use my mind and I'll stare at the individual and I'll say, you're an alien, and they'll have their back to me and they will literally turn around and stare at me like they know they've been spotted. So it's amazing. So if anybody's ever tried that, try doing that sometime, when you're sitting out in front of Walmart or any big department store, even a grocery store, like Kroger's or Food Lion or anything along that lines, and just do that and see what happens. So you get a lot of weird things that happen. The one day she was in Food Lion, this is about a year ago, maybe. I'll have to go back in my phone and check. I recorded something really weird that happened in the parking lot. And this guy pulled up in this car. It was a 4-door Caprice. And like a metallic blue type of a
Yeah.
color. And the guy got out of the car and he's looking at the car, looking at his car to make sure, I guess he thought he might have hit something. I don't know. Before he went into the store. And then he goes in the store and the exact same car with the exact same color, the exact same license plate pulled up next to that car with one space in between.
Doppelganger.
Now, if that isn't a bleed over of reality,
Yeah.
then I don't know that. But I got it on video, and it's amazing. The guy comes back out, okay, and he's looking at the car that he came out of, looking at the license plate, looking at the inspection sticker on the windshield, and all that. He's checking it. He's looking at the tires and the rims. Then he sees the other car, and he thinks, well, "Wait a minute, is this my car or is that my car?" So he goes over to the other car. The same thing happened. He's checking it out to see, because nobody came out of the second car. Nobody came out of the second car. Okay. And anyways, I guess he figured that the first car was his. And he shrugged his shoulders and, he just kind of threw his hands in the air and just got in his car and drove off. Then I panned back to the other car. The other car is gone.
Huh.
Now,
I'll
if that isn't,
I gotta let the murder monsters out.
Yeah, if that isn't a kick in your crotch when you see something like that, that is really, really weird when you have something like that. And that's the stuff I'm talking about, the weird stuff that happens all the time. It's amazing that we as just regular good old human beings face this stuff every day. And if it happened to me, I mean, God knows how many people else have seen something like that happen or something similar to that happen. So, and I am sorry, but we are getting a lot of bad internet today. So I don't know what's going on. I know we have a high wind advisory today. So that might have something to do with it. So, but I'm starting to think that it's more of the subject matter that we were going down, that I think that rabbit hole is a little too deep for a Saturday morning discussion, but the weird things that are happening, yes, we can manifest things ourselves. We as human beings have that capability. I've done it in ceremony. But there's too many strange things that we need to connect the dots and see why they're happening. People are talking about how the Euphrates has dried up, and they hear the moans and the groans coming out of the earth, from where the river used to flow. They're talking about the huge crack of going through Africa. It's 3,000 miles long, and how it's 50, 60 feet deep, and how the continent of Africa is splitting in two. There's so many weird things going on. You have the earthquake in Japan, all those poor people. God bless those people. I feel so sorry for them. Then the tsunamis, and then the volcanoes going off in Iceland, and it's getting out of hand. It's getting ridiculous. The recent flooding in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. There's another one, and yeah, Gatlinburg, Tennessee floods every spring, but it's not springtime. So
yeah,
I don't know, man. There's just a lot of weird stuff. Just a lot of weird stuff.
And it makes it harder to discern what's causing it. Is it a natural thing that's happening? Is it a parallel universe that's splitting ours up into several fragments? Or is it the military attacking other countries because they're trying to keep, people dummified down? I mean, all of them are very good possibilities because all of
Well,
them
they
are
definitely
actual
are
things.
trying to keep nullified.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that's part of
Yeah,
this
they're
crap that
definitely
goes
trying to
into.
keep us.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It is. You're right.
I can tell you guys
What's
now from
this? This
what I've
place is
seen,
being.
we're living in a pantomime right now, as Charlie Ward likes to say. And I was kind of skittish about it at first, but things I'm starting to see make me wonder if we ain't. Because everything you said is going to happen has happened. We're starting to get things back the way it used to be. I mean, and there's could there be a better horizon on the next day? Yeah, possibly. I don't know.
Right.
It's things are happening, folks, and it's just not just in the supernatural, paranormal, cryptid, and all that other stuff. I mean, in just everyday life, we got to hang in, hang
Right.
tight, stand up,
Um,
people. Be you.
I want to answer Sue's question here about does major depression keep people from seeing things and beings?
Yeah,
Unfortunately, I would have to say yes on that, only
yeah,
because it's not the fact that the person's depressed, okay? Because even I get depressed, okay? And it's the fact that the person, whenever they get depressed, their vibrational level goes way down, okay? And that is what causes them not to see things, okay? So, that's, to be honest with you, it has nothing to do with the depression itself. Just the physical frequency of your being drops drastically when you're depressed. And the same with being sad. Okay. They used to say that when somebody cries, and it's a real sad, sad thing, like they say they lost a loved member, a family member or something, a mom, a dad, a grandmother, a grandfather, and they're crying and it suddenly rains. It's said that the universe picked up on your grief, and your grief
yeah,
frequency was so powerful that it caused it to rain too. So the world is crying with you.
yeah.
So as beautiful as that sounds, that's the way it happens. Let me
It's
see here.
we are creatures of vibration and frequency. That's our body heals, our body survives, it thrives, it builds, it grows, it destroys. Everything is based off of frequency and vibrations. Hence why they tell you if you need to recenter your soul, you need to be barefoot touching Mother Earth and take in her frequency, because our bodies are based off of her frequency. So if you want to heal, you want to get your soul right, you want to get your mind right, you need to be barefoot and touching Mother Earth, not your concrete jungle crap. Mother Earth. You need to be touching her, taking in her frequency, her vibrations. That physical
Yep.
touch is the same touch as a baby that is freshly born and touching their mother. If you want to put it in a concept that you can understand, that is it right there in a handbag. We need that. That's what our body needs. And that's something we got to get back to. And some people are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Very true. Very true. There is.
So I was trying to get caught up on the comments here.
Yeah, I know. So am I. They're going by fast.
Yeah.
It's just, we see a lot of, in fact, Norm, good brother of mine, um, has his channel Beyond the Veil.
That's a
If you
good one.
can check it out. Yeah, check it out. It's a very good one. Um, subscribe if you can. Tell him I sent you. Tell him the Pain in the Butt Indian sent you. And subscribe to it. He's got some very, very good topics. We're going to be doing another FI here pretty soon, I guess. So, but there a lot of people talk about the woo and how the woo has nothing to do with you know anything as far as cryptids go. And only thing I can say to you all is that when you're dealing with cryptids and you're dealing with even aliens for that matter, you're not dealing with something that is born and bred on this planet most of the times. When you see, there is the best way I can describe it. Today, we have several beings, some that are terrestrial and some that are extraterrestrial, okay, outside our world, um, that are classified as shapeshifters, okay? We all know that the reptilians are shapeshifters, okay? But there's several others out there, okay, that are shapeshifters. So they can cause you to think that you're seeing something you're not seeing, okay? Like they can make themselves look like Bigfoot to you, and you're going to have a Bigfoot sighting. But the one thing that gives them away is going to be that little quirk that they can't disguise, whether it's the eyes, whether it's the lack of ears, or something odd about it's going to be off just a little bit, okay? And you'll know that you're dealing with a shapeshifter and not the exact being or cryptid that you think you're dealing with. That goes on with a lot of dogmen sightings too. Everybody says, "Oh, if it's not a dogman, it's a skinwalker." Well, no, that's not true. Not everything that shapeshifts is a skinwalker. Okay, there are alien entities out there that are shapeshifters.
Yep.
Okay, and they are on the planet at this very point in time. Okay, and they're in this planet by the thousands upon thousands. Okay, so they're all over the place. All right. So that
I wanted
is
to
just one of the things. Go ahead.
I wanted to kind of comment on Red's deal there. Um, not only is it dogmen that are going the concrete jungle, Bigfoot have been sighted in there. Wendigo have been sighted in there. Gugwe have been sighted in there. Ghouls, everything else has to. And then part of that stems, yes, the activity seemed to ramp up during the lockdown of the so-called virus. And everybody was stuck in their homes. True. Nature reclaims what we do not use. So when you're not out there doing as much as you used to, nature's going to come back and reclaim it. That's just the law of the land. That's what happens. Could that be it? Possibly. Lack of food. Could that be another resource? Possibly. Right. Could it be something wanting you to think that is what it is? Very good possibility. So you got to keep that in mind. Right. I mean, I'm not going to dispute that cryptids are found in the concrete jungle. I've got a buddy of mine, a former co-worker, who caught one like the winter before he transferred to another job. Right there in the middle of town, he had one, and he was sitting there telling me about it. It happens, folks. I mean, you can't despite it. You can't dispute it. It's just they're getting more bold. I mean, look how many more encounters we're having all over. Part of that is more of these now in hands than what used to be. Yes, that's true. The other part is probably, one theory is they're getting fed up. They're look what we're doing to Mother Earth every day.
When you deal with anything cryptid, and putting aside the paranormal aspect of it, because a lot of cryptids do have that paranormal capability of being in, transporting themselves, from point A to point B. They can cloak themselves. They can, they can literally do all kinds of weird, mysterious things. But putting all that aside, in my years of tracking game and stuff, and cryptids, I have whenever you come across a lost track or something, when something steps down, and they're gone. Okay, it looks like they just walked off into oblivion. Okay, there's no sign on the ground, you have to ask yourself, what is the easiest way to lose somebody? And that is to make sure that your tracks stop dead into blank space, because those people that are tracking you are going to think he completely vanished, and that's not it. We use trees, we backstep, to a tree, and then we'll go up the tree, and come down off, a couple trees later, totally off to the right or the left of where the original tracks were, making it appear like we're gone, and then we'll just keep on going our way. I mean, it's just there's certain things that, that can be accounted for that's happening nowadays, that you've got to chalk it up to the universes and the parallel universes being stacked on top of each other. They're bleeding over. People see dinosaurs. Well, you're having a time bleed, unless governments have actually cloned them, and they have started to cloning them. Trust me, they have.
Yep.
Each government wants to have the best secret weapon they can have. Okay. And, so, when we say we see dinosaurs or come across dinosaur tracks in the woods, we're not imagining it, folks. They're actually there. Okay. You're not crazy. Okay. No matter who's laughing and mocking you or whatnot, you're not crazy. Okay. You're gifted. And the reason I say you're gifted is because you have the ability to see these things. These things interact with you. My first Bigfoot sighting that I had when I was 12 years old, physical Bigfoot sighting, one-on-one, mano a mano, I looked him in the eye, and I probably shouldn't have, because now wherever I go, guess who follows me? Okay. There is a connection there. There is a connection.
Yep.
Okay. You make a psychic connection when you stare into something's eyes. The eyes are the windows to the soul, folks. So.
Yeah, they really are. Yeah, it's funny.
Well, I'm going to have to get off of here pretty
soon. Red Rider talking. Yeah. Oh, we did pretty good over an hour today. That's pretty
go ahead.
Good. Ozzy Sue and Red Rider are talking about these reptilians.
What about Ozzy Sue and?
They're talking about these reptilians, man. Yeah, more and more people are getting woke up to these things being here. It's like I said, like a weekend or so ago, you got three types. You got your terrestrial ones, what was considered part of the first beings. Even Native Americans have got stories about them. You got your interdimensional ones, the ones that cross from one dimension to the other, which is kind of weird on its own. Then you got the extraterrestrial, which, in other words, are what's leading a lot of the bad stuff that's happening to us. So, I mean, the fact that you're seeing this stuff and it's coming to you in dreams. Oh, I'm losing you too. They don't like us talking about reptilians.
But, yeah, they really don't. They really don't.
I mean, that's not far out there.
Well, Ryder. Honestly, I think we're going to save the reptilian thing for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we'll save the reptilian thing for tomorrow podcast. Because I really think we're leaving a lot of stones uncovered. We need to really expose it. And I want to see what's going to happen tomorrow with what technical problems we have. So that being said, I want to thank everybody for being here. Red Raider, Ozzy Sue, Griff, Scott's Life, Tracy, and Edna. And who else we got? We got Juno in the house. We got Sue James. Good to see you on here. Okay. And Angelique, good to see you. Let's see. I said Griff, didn't I? Yep. Griff, good to see you. All righty. I think that's everybody that's made a comment.
Scott's live.
Oh, Ray. Yeah, there's Ray. Okay. Sorry, Ray. I didn't mean to forget you, buddy. I wouldn't forget you, man. All right. And let's see. Man, there's a lot of people commenting, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's everybody.
Hey,
oh, Spiritual Odyssey. That's the other one. Thank you. Okay. And
if I can't make it tomorrow, I'm sorry, you guys. I'm not passing up $37
Gemini Moon.
an hour.
Good to see you. Yeah, Gemini Moon. Yep. Oh no, we can't blame you for that. But then again, it's only money.
Yeah. Well, we're so short-handed.
That's the one I forgot.
I
God forbid I forget
to. Yeah, Stuart. Yep. Cynthia. Good morning.
All right, everybody.
Hey,
well, we will see you all tomorrow morning. Okay. Everybody, you have a great day. Roger Blair, good to see you on there, brother. Cynthia, good to see you. We had a lot of technical problems this time because of the subject matter we were talking about, but you know, they're going to do whatever it takes to cover it up because they've been covering a lot of the truth up since day one. So, but take care.
See you guys. Peace and love.